Shabina, why do you think an event like this is really important, especially for someone from the news industry?
Well, this event is all about open information societies, which is the job of the media to help bolster and foster. And also it's about the internet. And in Qatar, the internet is one of the most important developments that the country has seen in the last decade. It has the highest internet penetration in the region. It has some of the most literate people in the region. So when you combine these two together, there is a lot of potential for growth, and there's a lot of potential for information to spread and inform people and give them the knowledge that they need to make better choices, which would ultimately benefit society.
And you touched on it a bit when you spoke to the audience. Tell us a bit about those challenges that people like you face in the region.
Yes, in terms of local media challenges, we have a really hard time getting official sources to talk on the record. Just because of this community where privacy is so highly valued, people are scared to give up information because they don't know if they'll get in trouble for sharing such information. Another obstacle is that there aren't a lot of local journalists, and local journalists are the ones who kind of will be the agenda setters in the future, because they're the ones who are Khatri, they're the ones who are the major stakeholders in the country. So they're the ones who can get around these obstacles, any of the bureaucracy that expat journalists face. And they're also the ones that people will trust with information, because they know that Qataris will have this motivation to benefit society. And they might be less trustful of expats because they don't know what the motivation is for expats.
Now, personally coming from TV, and you're someone who does internet news, and I believe that is the next step. I mean, TV I think eventually is going to be outdated. What do you think are the limitations in comparison, and also because of citizen journalism and that kind of?
The limitations of internet journalism? Well, we get the term citizen journalism a lot, but we kind of bristle at it because we're professionally trained journalists, and the term citizen journalism applies to amateur journalists. But we do rely a lot upon crowdsourcing. We have, almost 18,000 Twitter followers, several thousand Facebook followers, and these people are the ones telling us this is happening or giving us news tips, and then basically pointing us in the right direction where to go and where to report on information that people find relevant. So in terms of limitations, I think the internet is kind of limitless. We don't have a paper product that people can sit on a subway and read. And in this culture, the newspaper is still a very strong, there's still a very strong attachment to the newspaper. I mean, there's 7 newspapers in this town, 4 in Arabic and 3 in English. And people love their newspapers. So I guess that would be one limitation, but I don't think it's going to be a limitation for long. In terms of other limitations, I'm not really sure.
I don't think there are any either. And also, like you were saying, the citizen journalism, they become your sources.
Right.
And you have a bigger pool of sources.
We do, we have a bigger pool of sources.
Television people, it's like who have you met out on a story, whereas you have this online community.
And we have an instantaneous reaction to the stuff we put out there, which is very addictive and very helpful, because if you get anything wrong, people will correct you immediately. And if you put out some information, for example, this woman who was murdered a few weeks ago, we put out the information that we had confirmed that the U.S. Embassy said something happened, and we had 2 reports about it. Then people came back with all this information, and then we were able to check that out and build upon the story. So it's very helpful to have a community to interact with.
Excellent. Is there anything you want to add?
No, thank you.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Excellent.